Previously, on Pokemon Science and Magic, quite a few revelations were made as we made it to the city of Golzhawk. Not only did we manage to get another scroll, but we also learned more about the region's past, such as more information about the two legendary Pokemon that stopped the ancient Krytonian War, and the origin of today's Pokemon guilds. We also learned that the scrolls we've been collecting could summon the two legendary Pokemon, and would give whoever wields them the power to convince everyone to do whatever they want. A power which we simply cannot allow to fall into Team Ragnarok's hands. And in today's episode, it appears that the Double C has the exact same idea. Now that things have calmed down a little, let's try and take on the Guild Master of this city before things heat up again. As said in the previous episode, the Guild is basically a rescue center / ski resort, and in order to take on the Guild Master, you'll have to climb the steep hill, all the while dodging trainers that are coming back down. And before you ask, you can't take the lift because it's broken. Hey, what are you doing climbing up the hill like that? This hill is for skiing only. You do realize there's another path you can take that isn't the lift, you know? Ugh, I have enough trouble around here without having to deal with rule breakers like you. What possible reason could you have for doing something so foolish? Ugh, great. Another trainer who came up here to waste my time with a battle. Look, kid, I'm not going to be rude and reject a request, especially since I know you won't leave me alone until I do give you this battle. But just know I have more important things to deal with, like my job for instance. A lot of people think they can just dance through all this icy and rocky terrain, and make it through it all unscathed. However, the truth is that they're too dumb to realize how dangerous this place is. At least once a year there's one idiot who thinks they can just wally through the Titan's back, and make it to the other side without getting hurt no matter how stupid they act. But in a place like this, accidents are inevitable. If I were you, and I was planning to go through the Titan's back, I would go in prepared. I've already been to enough people's funerals as it is, and I definitely don't want to go to yours. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get our battle over with, so I can get back to work, and continue to do my job to keep this valley safe. So prepare to battle me, Severe, and my Ice-type Pokemon. Honestly, why do I even bother? Right, let's just get this over with. Go, Glalie. Right, it's special gimmick time. In Severe's case, he will have you battling in a constant hailstorm, which not only helps out all of his Ice-type Pokemon, but also helps out the new move they have, Snowstorm. It's not the strongest Ice-type move, but its power does double when a hailstorm is active. It's also 100% accurate during a hailstorm, so you better be careful. Whatever. Go, Huscanger. Packing heat is the icy, mean fighting machine, Huscanger. It's the Ranger Pokemon, and the final evolution of Huscout, evolving from Huscalpa when leveled up during a hailstorm. Quite fitting for a gallant Pokemon such as this. They're able to double as giant sleds due to their icy feet and sturdy body, making them perfect for Pokemon Rangers working in cold environments such as this. They are remarkably caring and loyal, and don't give up easily. There have even been reports of one risking its life to save an entire bus of stranded people, regardless of the dangers to itself. Whatever. Go, Gorgalanche. Looks like he's generous enough to show off another new Pokémon. This is Gorgalanche. It's known as the Ice Tyrant Pokémon, and it is the evolved form of Crytonium Tyrant, evolving once leveled up during a hailstorm. Back in their day, they used to be known as the Tyrantrum of the Cryoto region, usually hunting by waiting for unexpected prey to travel into their cold habitats. Using a freezing bite in order to immobilize them, they are the perfect winter killers. Make sure to pack a bit of extra heat if you want to take this thing down. Whatever. I have no interest in this matchup whatsoever. Why should I come up with something else to say? Go, Beartic. I'm glad that's over. You know, I may not have been interested in that battle, but I have to admit, you do have a fair amount of skill. If you had the right training and discipline, you'd make a fair ranger if I do say so myself. I may have little interest in Pokémon battle, but I'd be a fool not to congratulate you for this victory. If you ever want to come back to learn a thing or two, I wouldn't mind. Though the least I can do for now is give you this. Now, if you excuse me, I better get going. I've already wasted enough time here as it is. Duty calls, after all. And now that we've successfully beaten him in a battle, we can actually help him out with that duty as side quests. So, feel free to come back anytime to help him and his rescue team save lives and clear the paths of the Titans back. My oh my, it has been quite a while since we've taken on another guild, hasn't it? It's also been a long time since we've checked our rank, so let's see how that's doing real quick, shall we? Congratulations, because we have finally obtained the B rank. With it, the chances of encountering an armor-charged Pokémon in the wild are boosted. Not to mention, we can fly upon the backs of Pokémon that are able to fly, and backtrack to other cities and towns we have been to. We really are coming along as guild trainers, aren't we? Especially if we've managed to come this far in terms of our rank. You know, I'm sure Team Ragnarok won't bother with us anymore. Speaking of which, look what's going on over there. You disrespectful little brat! I'll tell you one more time and one more time only! Where is she? Whoa, relax, Muscle Man, I told you. If I spilt the beans, I'd be giving out our location. But I can assure you, we're taking great care of her. In fact, her and I are planning to do such great things together. She's better off with me than you, if I'm being honest. You know, you should have seen the look on her face when we captured her. The way she screamed out for her precious little boyfriend Thor to show up and save her, like a knight in shining armor. It's a pity that didn't happen, especially since her precious knight was too busy elsewhere. But oh well, she knows better now than not to waste her time with the likes of you. How dare you! My precious Roselia would never think of me like that! And if you hurt one precious little hair on her head, you'll what? Say you're going to do something and then end up being a no-show? Oh, not a chance. Not when one of my friends is on the line. Let alone my lover. I refuse to let any of my loved ones down. Not now, not ever! Well, no offense, Muscle Man, but you're kinda late for that. I mean, didn't your old man trust you to get all of those scrolls? Didn't he trust you to try and beat us to the job? You hardly showed up for any of them. In fact, I'd say the player here was doing your job more... Wait a minute. I'll have you know that I was helping out my friends. Their needs come before my own. Ah, and speaking of friends, it looks like one of them has come to my aid. Come on, player, let's teach this hooligan a lesson. Oh, with pleasure. I've been dreaming for a chance to pay you two out after you embarrassed me in the Wood Temple. So come on then, put 'em up! Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Go, Gobbler and Ariados! Ah, oh, drat! You two got lucky. Go, Toxic Croak and Arcanine! Alright, now you're starting to tick me off! Go, Bat-em-ups! Oh, oh dear. Not so high and mighty now, are you? You know, Muscle Man, I was just kidding about, Rachel being better off of me. Don't worry, we are really taking good care of her, I promise. I'm really sorry about... Don't take me for a fool, you insignificant brat! I've had it up to here with you, Team Ragnarok, and all of your fiendish accomplishments! You are no Pokémon guild! You're nothing but a mere circus! A circus who's failing to entertain all of us! Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to tell me where my beloved is, or else I will throw you into the icy cold sea. Your frozen body will be slowly picked off, piece by piece, by the Carvana that are swimming around, and I will be laughing myself to bits. Do you hear me? Tell me now! Alright, it's in Corvin Valley! In Corvin Valley! Go there, you'll find it! Well, for since when were you the aggressive type? Oh my, Aberdeen. I'm sorry you had to hear that, my friend. It's just... Well, I'm just trying to assure that my beloved is safe and sound. I mean, the one time I wasn't there to protect her, she ended up being kidnapped by those hooligans! That abomination of a guild! I just can't stand here, knowing that she's in their captivity. And now that I know the location of that wretched guild, I'm going to go over there and not come back until it's nothing but ashes and dust. Ah yes, the location of the Ragnarok Guild. That young chap told you it was in Corvin Valley, right? Adds up with what we've learned about it. Wait, what? You mean you've already learned where the guild's location is? What? But why didn't you tell me? There's a solid reason for that, Thor. You see, now that we've found the location of the Ragnarok Guild, we're planning a raid to take it down once and for all. Not to mention recapture most of the scrolls that they've already collected. Take down Team Ragnarok once and for all? It's about time if you ask me. They've already become too much of a nuisance as it is. Don't worry, Aberdeen. I'll get there as soon as I can. Yes, about that. That's the thing, Thor. You haven't been invited to it. What? What do you mean? I mean, the reason why you haven't been informed about it is because the Double C has decided that your help is no longer necessary. What? What do you mean, no longer necessary? I've been a vital component into the defeat of Team Ragnarok and to the collection of these scrolls! No, Thor, you haven't. You have hardly shown up recently. Although you may be a strong trainer, your lack of dedication to this important job makes you a liability. If I'm being honest, it's kind of a shame, because I knew that you had the potential to be one of our greatest guild members if you chose to join. But sometimes you just don't care about getting the job done. Not to mention you're too riled up about your friend getting captured by them. I don't think it's a good idea to let you just unleash yourself upon them. Not while you're this disfocused. With respect, Aberdeen, I have a perfectly good reason to be riled up. They have not my friend in their grasp, but they have my lover, my lovely Rachel, my sweet Roselia. There's a loved one on the line, and I can't just sit back while those cretins do Arceus knows what to her. I'm sorry for disobeying you, Aberdeen, but other people's needs come before my own. Even if I lose my guild license because of this, I am going to their guild. I am going to get back my Rachel, and you can't stop me! Thor, wait! Oh, for crying out loud. Hello there. You must be that player person that everyone keeps talking about. I would have assumed that Thor was going to introduce you to me, but apparently not. Regardless, it's an honor to meet you, my lad. As Thor mentioned, I am Aberdeen, another member of the Double C's Elite Four. I've heard a lot about your accomplishments, and I must say I am quite impressed. You've probably already heard this kind of praise before, but I would personally like to congratulate you myself for all of your accomplishments, even if you do have a long way to go before becoming a high-ranking member such as myself. Regardless, your expertise is exactly why I wanted to find you. The Double C is inviting you to take part in the raid to stop Team Ragnarok and take down their base. We believe that you will be more than adequate for the job. Excellent, then I'll meet you in the Corvin Valley. Also, I'd like to give you something. It was a little gift that Professor Salix didn't get the chance to give you the last time you met. We came across each other on my way here, and I promised him that I'd give it you in person. I'm sure that you'll need all the help you can get if you're going to help us take down Team Ragnarok, so Professor Salix hoped that you appreciate the extra help he's giving you. Anyway, I better go on ahead and make sure that Thor doesn't do anything stupid. That lad's heart may be in the right place, but his head certainly isn't. It's honestly a shame. I know that he's capable of better. Well, new armor fragments. Isn't this interesting? And what makes these fragments so special is that they're the armor fragments that we'll need in order to armor charge our own starter Pokémon. That's right, even our own starters have the ability to armor charge. So, let's not waste any more time and see what they can become once they're given the right armor fragment.
Supercharged!
And a hearty congratulations to you! Thanks to the power of armor charging, your starter Pokémon have only grown even stronger. Starting with Per Conjure, the Trickster fragment has allowed it to gain the power of flight. It can levitate upon the ground and use its two twin tails to grapple the opponent, as it drags them into its illusions. It's faster than ever and near impossible to hit because of its blinding speed. And its move, Supercharge Duplicane, allows it to duplicate itself up to 1,000,000 times, and consume its opponents in a hurricane of speed mirages. However, if you prefer strength, I think Slamerox's Armor Charge form would be more suitable for you. The Hammer Fragment gives it buff defenses, and two powerful hammer arms which can unleash bursts of energy upon contact. This allows Slamerox to do quite a bit of damage once it literally puts the hammer down. Speaking of which, its move, Supercharged Grand Hammer, allows it to slam its opponents with its arms with enough force to create an earthquake. Or perhaps you prefer a bit more intelligent. Then iCuber's Armor Charge form is the way to go. With the Sight Fragment, iCuber gains complete knowledge over its opponents. Its brain power has only increased as a result of this form, and to buff its defenses, its new wings can help defend itself. It's said in ancient times Armor Charge iCubers were the sights of the sea, overseeing all whose fates lied in the Big Blue. Its move, Supercharged Forecast, allows it to summon a tsunami wave to swallow up the opponent. Should this move land the finishing blow, then a whirlpool will be set up for the next Pokémon that is sent out. And that's pretty much it. I hope you're happy with the final results of your starter Pokémon. And no doubt that Team Ragnarok will be crying in fear once they see these bad boys put up against them. So let's not keep them waiting, shall we? Let's go and kick some butt! Our travels through this winter wonderland continue. Now, before we arrive at Corvin Valley, we can look around the frosty terrain in order to build our team up a bit more and prepare ourselves for this future conflict. So if you look around here, you'll be able to find the Pokemon Fenrath for the first time, as well as Crytonium Meowth, Huskalpa, Hallusion, Crytonium Baneri and Lopunny, Gallistallion, Renestone, Gritterine, Scrafty, Celio, Crabominable, Medichan, Zartu, Beartic, Skuntank, and Cryogonal. On top of finding these, it looks like that some of our Pokemon are beginning to evolve. So,
on to your butts.
Because we've got some big names coming up for this patch of evolutions. Starting things off, we have the Frost Giant Pokemon Primafrost. This big fella is obtained when Froston is leveled up while a Poison type Pokemon is in your party. It was said that these big fellas started to come about when various gases were being released through permafrost, which mutated the local Froston's DNA and gave them the ability to genetically unlock this new form. It now radiates permafrost all over its entire body, so be careful when you touch this thing. Some scientists, however, are interested in this unique way of gaining evolution, and are experimenting with it to see what other Pokemon can unlock evolution through the exposure of permafrost. If you caught Gupplefish and was disappointed with Guppaloid, then I'm sorry to say you have missed out on a true titan. Meet Cragolord, the sea monster Pokemon. It's Gupplefish's final evolution and evolves from Guppaloid when leveled up while surfing. From hunted to hunter, Cragolord is the most formidable Pokemon in the Crytonium seas. Big enough to swallow most fish Pokemon in one bite. Even Gyarados run in fear in its presence. And I'm sorry to say, any ships that are foolish enough to sail into its territory never return. There are many stories at sea that say if you have eaten a Gupplefish or Guppaloid at sea, then you are destined to meet your fate against Cragolord's harsh wrath. Completing the journey of our pseudo-legendary Pokémon, we have Arctagon, the Ice Dragon Pokémon. It will evolve from Cryogon at level 35 and will finally evolve into Dragavalanche at level 60 during a hailstorm. Evolution has made Arctagon a bit more angsty, with an attitude as cold as ice. It'll take a skilled trainer to make it see sense and stop it from freezing you on purpose. But it shouldn't be too much trouble for you. Just remember to stay clear of its nose so you're not frozen by liquid nitrogen. And that's pretty much it. Man, we've come a long way in this region, haven't we? Especially considering the fact that we've almost seen every new Pokémon this region has to offer. I applaud you for sticking with us for this long, and I hope to continue seeing your teams in the comments below, to see if anything has changed or not. Nevertheless, we've got some new firepower added to our team, so let's use it to put down Team Ragnarok once and for all. Well, it looks like after all that trekking through the snow, we have finally found paradise. Corvin Valley is notorious in this region for its stunning scenery. Tourists will often flock to this part of the region in cruise ships, just to get the best pictures they possibly can. It's hard to believe that Team Ragnarok's guild could be located in such a beautiful place. But if you manage to look around long enough, you'll be able to find a small tunnel, which will take you to a secret part of the valley. So, let's meet up with the Double C and end this, shall we? Ah, player. Just in time. Me and the rest of the Double C were just about to start the raid. However, by the looks of things, Thor has already beaten us to it. As you can see, the gates have been blasted wide open, and there are hordes of Team Ragnarok grunts all over the place, completely knocked out. He must have charged on ahead. I just hope he doesn't get into too much trouble in there. There's no telling what other powerful trainers could lie in wait. What's this now? Oh, good Arceus! That loaf may be brainless, but he sure packs a punch! Ooh. Ah, Bertha, I assume, one of Team Ragnarok's admins? Well, in the name of the Double C, I hereby claim you and all of your fellow grunts under arrest for crimes against the region. You will all be punished for your wrongdoings, and your guild will be decommissioned. Oh. Oh, come now, my dears. You wouldn't restrain such a fine lady as I, would you?
If she's a lady, I'm a vermicious knit.
I can see you're just as rude as ever. Hasn't anyone ever taught you that true beauty lies on the inside? That is not a valid argument for someone who has no beauty on the inside. Your vain attitude isn't going to save you from handcuffs. We'll see about that. I'm not going to be overcome by brainless men so easily. Not without a fight, that is. My Pokémon may have been worn down, but I'm sure they're more than enough to take out you two. Don't count on it. I've taken down so many trainers, not just in this region, but almost everywhere else as well. I doubt you'll be any different, especially with the players' help. Go, Haxorus! A Haxorus? Oh, of course! That must mean you're Aberdeen. No matter. A member of the Elite Four doesn't scare me. Show them who's boss, Ravieri and Glalie! Confounded things! Fine. Let's see how you do against both Houndoom and Miss Magius! You two are so rude! I can't stand it! Go! Woolam! Why does every boy I meet have to be so brainless? They just don't know how to treat a lady. Unbelievable. I must be the only one around here who has common sense. You people just don't know how to treat a lady, do you?
If she's a lady,
Oh, shut up! Whine as much as you want. I'm sorry to say, it isn't going to stop you from being put behind bars. Now then, from what I've heard, you were the one responsible for hijacking someone. Now, I would like you to tell us where exactly you're holding her. Give me a kiss, darling, and I might consider it. Don't play around with me. Even if you don't tell us, we are going to raid this place. We are literally going to turn it inside out until we find the hostage. So if you want to be disobedient, fine by me. It isn't going to change the outcome. Not even if the boss gets involved? You mean your guild master? They're here? No, they're in the Alola region. Where else would they be? You may have gotten past us, but once you get to them, you're going to be sorry that you dare interfered with Team Ragnarok. So go ahead, boys. Take me away. It won't be for long, I assure you. We'll see about that. Player, I just need to stay here for a bit in order to help restrain these grunts. You and the others go on ahead into the guild. I'll catch up with you as soon as I can. Oh, and if you find Thor, make sure he doesn't do anything reckless. This is it, the home of Team Ragnarok. This dark guild will obviously not be like any other guild that you've seen before. Wherever you go, you'll find wanted posters, and a handful of decrepit rooms, with tons of Team Ragnarok grunts itching for a fight. It's a lot more unfriendly than the other guilds that you've already been to. Oh, and if I were you, I would pay attention to some of those wanted posters and job requests that Team Ragnarok's got. You might find a few, interesting details. In fact, here's one now. Interesting. Oi! What do you think you're doing, looking through our stuff? Indeed, our clients are none of your concern, and besides, I doubt that you have the brains necessary to understand them anyway. You'll probably just forget as soon as you've read them, through one ear and out the other. And since you're not using those ears properly, you wouldn't mind if we rip them off, do you? Gotta teach you a lesson somehow. Go Pokémon! While we're here, and since I haven't really gone into much detail about it before, I would just like to quickly show off all the Pokémon you can expect the Team Ragnarok grunts to use. A blend of Ghost, Dark, and Fighting type Pokémon, as well as some other few exceptions. A rough crew to handle for sure, but if you've already beaten Team Ragnarok dozens of times before this, then you'll probably have no trouble here. And those two are far from the only grunts home. Though a good chunk of the Team Ragnarok grunts have been knocked out by you-know-who, there are still plenty more in shape and ready to battle. Lastly, I should mention this guild's gimmick. Since it is a Pokemon guild, it's technically got one. You see, in order to progress to one of the higher floors, you have to open one of several doors at the end of the room, each one having a trap door underneath it. And I think you know where this is going. Pick the wrong door, and the trap door will take you right down to the previous room. Luckily, if you take on enough of the grunts, you should be able to gather some clues to see which door is the right one to take. Nevertheless, we have a mission to complete. So, once you've advanced through enough floors and beaten enough of the grunts, you'll be able to make it to the top room, which is just one big corridor with one giant door at the very end. And the corridor is nowhere near empty. All around you, you can see Ragnarok grunts just laying down unconscious. And I think you can guess who's already been here. Rachel? Rachel! My lovely Rachel, my sweet Roselia, where are you? Oh, player! Thank goodness you're here! Now you can help me find my lovely Rachel. What? Don't be selfish! The job isn't important right now. What is important is that my lovely Rachel is safe. Other people's needs must come before your own, player. Oh, I don't have time to argue with you. Not when there's a friend at stake. Come on, we must find her. There's no telling how much peril my dear is in. I can't even bear the thought of it any longer. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? What? Wait a minute. I know that voice. Oh, player. Thor, it is you. Thank goodness. Oh, my lovely Rachel, my sweet Roselia, thank Arceus you're safe. But how? I thought you were captured. I was, but when they caught me, they took me to their leader. They took me to this place. After that, they tried to lock me up. I was frightened. I managed to escape and I hid here. I knew you wouldn't abandon me. I would never leave you in need, my dear. Now come on, let's get out of this horrible place. Hold on, Thor. Before we go, I just remembered they locked up my Pokémon in this room. In that cabinet over there. I've been trying to find the key. Do you think you can help me? Of course, my dear. Anything for you. I would feel horrible leaving your own Pokémon behind. Come on, player. Help me look. So, my dear, how exactly did you manage to escape from Team Ragnarok? Oh, I guess you could say I had a bit of help. Really? From who? I doubt that any of the dreaded hooligans living here would actually bother helping such a beautiful lady such as yourself. Well, unless one of them actually had a change of heart, but I highly doubt that would be the case for these money-loving grunts. Ugh, I'm getting wound up just thinking about it. How could they do this to you? And their leader. Oof, when I get my hands on them, I am going to teach them a lesson they will never forget. But you don't have to worry about that now, my lovely Rachel. Not now. Ah! Oh, don't worry, Thor. It will be a time I'll never forget, all right.